Shalom and welcome to Scripture 365. We read in Hebrews chapter 11 about faith, and my question for this is, how important is faith? And that was, Monday's reading, part 1. So today we're going to continue with how important is faith, part 2. Faith is very important. We say that we don't have faith in God, we don't believe in God. Faith is trusting and believing. We believe that when we sit in the chair is not going to collapse and break. We believe that a cup, when we have some liquid in it and we pick it up by the handle like this, we got faith that the cup is not going to fall apart and break and spill our drink. We have, like I said, we have faith in a lot of things. Why don't we have faith in God? We need to trust and believe in God. Trusting is having faith. Today I'm going to read out of Genesis, where people have faith that God is going to do something. So let's turn our Bibles to Genesis chapter 4, 1 through 4, Cain and Abel. In verse 1 it says, "And Adam knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she began to bear his son Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground." So there we have farm hands, but one of them kept the flock, and another one was a farmer that tilled the ground and grew crops. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of the flock of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering, and had faith. Abel had faith believing in a flock offering. Now, it doesn't matter whether you bring a grain offering or stuff that you grow in the ground like potatoes or carrots or whatever, or whether you brought a live animal to be offered and sacrificed to the Lord. What matters is what kind of grain. Was it the best or was it the worst? Apparently God did not accept the grain offering, the ground offering from Cain, because he gave second-hand stuff. He did not give the good stuff. But Abel brought the meat offering. He brought the best without blemish, and that was accepted. If Cain would have brought his best offering, even if it was grain, God would accept it, because we gotta remember that God accepts both. So Abel had more faith that God would accept his, because his was better one. Let's go to Genesis chapter 7, starting at verse 13. "And God said unto Noah, The end of all flesh is come from before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shall pitch it within and without with pitch." Now that is God talking to Noah. Verse 50, and this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth or the width of it shall be 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. Window shalt thou make to the ark, and in a cubit shalt thou finish it above, and the door of the ark shalt thou set in the side thereof, with lower, second, and third stories shalt thou make it. 17. And behold, I, meaning God, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. But with thee I will establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wife and thy sons' wives with thee. 19. And of every living thing of the earth, 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female, fowls after their kind, and cattle after their kind. Of every creeping thing of the earth after his kind, 2 of every sort shall come into the ark to keep them alive. And take thou unto thee all the food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be for food unto thee and for them. Thus did Noah according to all that God commanded him, so he did. So Noah believed God, or had faith in God, that he and his family, his wife, his son's wife, and he, and all the animals on the ark will survive. Now, there is something that we see here, but if we read on later, we will find out something different. Every animal that is pronounced unclean, they had a pair, a male and a female. But every clean animal, like a cow and chickens and animals that were pronounced clean by God, they had 7 pairs, because they used clean animals to eat. If they would have ate pork, like some people say, well, after the flood, Noah ate, everything was permissible. If he would have slaughtered a pig, we wouldn't have any pigs left. How can one pig produce life unless they have a male and a female? So pig or pork was off limits. But cows, they had an oxen, they had 7 pairs, because he slaughtered one and raised the others to have offspring. So Noah had faith in God that they would live through the flood, when God said everything in and on the earth will die. Let's go over to chapter 13 in Genesis. We'll read in verse 14. And the Lord said unto Abram, after that Lot was separated from him, lift up thine eyes and look from the place where thou art, northward and southward and eastward and westward. For all the land which thou seest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forever. And I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the seed of the earth, then shall thy seed also be numbered. Arise, walk through the land in the length of it and in the breadth of it, for I will give it unto thee. Then Abram removed his tent and came and dwelt in the plain of Mamre, which is in Hebron, and built there an altar unto the Lord. So God promised Abram, which later became Abraham, that all that land that he saw to the north, south, east, and west shall be for him. And God kept that promise, as we can find out by reading further. So, what is faith? Faith is believing in God, that He will do what He said, whether you deserve it or not. Well, until next time, we wish you shalom. See you soon. Shalom.